Hello everyone. This is going to be a video about the Pair app and what it can really do for you. So I'm going to go ahead here and log in. And as you can see, um, all you have to do is just sign up, and then it'll ask you to link up your Uber or Lyft, and if you do DoorDash or Grubhub, it'll link that too. But more importantly, I use it just for Uber. So what you want to do here first is you're going to go into your device settings, and then you're going to make sure that push notifications for Uber and Lyft are on, except then the client options are online for Uber and Lyft. More importantly, auto decline is on. So as you can see, I had my boundaries set a little crazy because I just got back from a Bulls game or Blackhawks game. My bad. But normally I set my per hour to $65. And my per mile is always at $2, and my per order, which means per ride, is a minimum of $12. So, and then for this instance, I will set it to let's say 21 miles. That's about that'll reach anywhere to O'Hare. So what it's going to do is it's going to go through and it's going to read any Uber request that comes in, and if that Uber request does not meet all these criteria, it is going to automatically decline the ride. So I'm going to go ahead and get on here. As you can see, beautiful downtown Chicago. And I have Comfort and Exxon. I'm probably not going to get anything, but maybe. But we'll see. Hell, just to even show how it works, I'll just turn UberX Share on, even though I'll never do UberX Share. So now we're just gonna go ahead and wait for a ride request. Now, this will work with Lyft Basic. In fact, let me just turn that on here. I'll turn on Lyft Basic just so you can see how this works here. Oh, forgot to go online. You can see here, offer automatically declined. The dollar per mile was less than my requirement of $2 a mile. So you don't even have to look on the app. It'll automatically decline it for you. Here we go, another one. The minimum payout was $10.96. My minimum amount is $12, so it declined the ride. I'm curious to see if I can actually get a ride on this with Lyft Basic that'll meet my criteria. I doubt it, but it'll be interesting to see. Um, so with all the other ride tiers above Lyft Basic that don't have upfront pricing, Pair app will not work because it currently this app pulls its data from upfront fares. So obviously, at least in Chicago, all Uber has upfront fares for all ride types, and if for Lyft, it's just Lyft Basic. Lyft XL, Lyft Lux, Lyft Lux Black, they all run off of they all run off of the rate card still. So probably not gonna see much action because it is almost 1:30 in the morning. But I kind of just wanted to show you what it does. Let's try to see if we can get like one or two more. And also the cool thing here is it'll show you all your offers here in offer history. Okay, let's see what this does. It's gonna auto decline because the minimum payout was less than $12. Okay. So yeah, as you can see here, every trip request you get is gonna be here. Let me show you one I did earlier. That one was kind of ridiculous. Let's see here. Oh. Yep. Minimum payout was less than the required amount. So, okay, let's see this one. Okay, another lift request. Decline because the dollars per minute is only 84 cents. Okay. Well, let's just use this one as an example. As you can see here, it shows drive time, which includes the distance to pick up and drop off, was 12 minutes. Drive distance total was 3 miles. It rates it at 575 a mile. It only auto declined because it did not meet my amount of $99 an hour. Let's see. See if I can find one that I actually accepted. No. Yeah, so I accepted this one. So you can see it was $17 for 10 minutes of driving, and it was a total of 2.5 miles at $7.06 a mile. This met my criteria, and I accepted that right, and I did it. Okay, let's see if I can find another one. Yeah, so this is another one I did. It was $29, 15 minutes driving total, 4.7 miles, and $6.14 a mile. And this is Uber X, by the way. So yeah, see, I got another offer out of decline because it was less than the $2 a mile. I sincerely doubt that Lyft Basic will ever meet the strict requirements I have. But again, this is just purely to show you how the app works. As you can see, it auto declined for me. Now, for Uber though, after 4 declines, you'll have to go back onto the app and log back on because Uber kicks you offline after 4 declines, four declines in a row, but not Lyft. So, I mean, my criteria is rather high. So let's see what this one is. Yep, order payout was $3.83 under the minimum. Nope. And I'm due minimum fare rides. Okay, so let's say $40 per hour, a dollar per mile. Kind of, what some people in other areas would be more inclined to accept. Let's set the minimum order to $10, and let's see what it does now. Auto decline because the order payout was only $6.11. Okay. See. Let's change this to $8. I just want to show you what it does when the app does when the ride does meet your criteria. I'm not gonna do the ride. I just want to show you what it looks like. So I mean, for me, this is pretty low. $1 per mile, $40 per hour average, and in a minimum of $8 for the ride. Um, I should get something here just because I just want to show you what it looks like, and yeah, we'll just kind of wait for it to come up. And you don't have to be on the screen. Like you can be doing whatever else. Because what'll happen is a little pop-up will show up up here, and it'll tell you here whether it's going to decline the request or it's going to tell you to go on the app and accept it. So I'm going to show you right now what that looks like. Is it going to do it? No? Oh, so see here that so here, perfect example. I got an Uber ride. It meets my criteria, and it will allow me to accept it if I wanted to. So yeah, you can accept it from this app, and then you can continue driving. Let me go offline here because I don't want to do any rides right now. And let me go back and go offline here, and then change my requirements back to what I can do here in Chicago. So again, for me, I'm only doing this for Uber because there are times when like that $65 an hour requirement I showed you earlier. I do get rides that meet those requirements. Let's see. So yeah. So again, I already showed this one earlier, but you see, this is the one I accepted. You can tell I accepted it because it doesn't have the auto decline message on there. So as you can see, there are UberX rides that do meet my criteria, and quite honestly, um, this criteria actually exceeds what I would get doing a Lyft Lux ride, which is pretty crazy. But it's because everything meets the criteria. You still need to go and kind of see like where the ride is going. So like um, like let's say that I do get a really juicy ride, but it's going to Englewood. Hell no, decline. It's going to Maywood. Hell no, decline. Let's say it's going to McCormick Center, which is in this area. Hell yeah, I accept. It's going to Lincoln Park. Hell yes, always accept. Um, for instance, this airport ride I have, it's it's gonna pay out $40, and it's 18 miles for 23 minutes. So it's gonna be it's gonna meet my $2 per mile requirement, and then it's also gonna meet the minute requirement. So this would come up as a auto accept for a ride. So the reason why I want to the reason why I wanted to bring this up was because there's a lot of ride requests out there that you will see that will do like as you saw from Lyft, paying like 75 cents a mile and like these really garbage rates, and you really gotta start being more selective with your rides. Um, like honestly, this kind of is really changing a lot of things for me. Because obviously, while I am doing Uber X rides in a Porsche because it's paying more than what I would get on Lyft Lux, it kind of brings to the mind like, if this continues to be a thing, like I might just end up having to get a second car. I'd rather get, a car that qualifies for like Uber X and Comfort and just ride that than than this. And I would still make the same amount of money, you know? So what my plan is I'm going to be actually listing this Porsche on Turo and see how many bites I get on it. If I get a bunch of bites, I'll see how fast it is until someone reserves it. Someone reserves it, depending on when they reserve it, I might actually let it go. I might not. But let's say I list it and then the very next day, someone reserves it for like 2 weeks. Not gonna happen. Let's just say 3 days. If that happens, I just won't work those 3 days. And then what I'll do is I'll get the car back, and then I'll see how quickly um, it gets booked again. If it gets booked again, within a day or two for like another 3 day or 5 day or 7 day period, then at that point, what I'll do is I will across the street. You might not see it, but across the street from my apartment here is a parking garage. This is where I used to park when I first moved into the city. But for me, I just kind of was just too lazy to go all the way down and walk across the street and go all the way back up. But what I'll do is I'll get a parking space over there, which is going to be 250 a month, and then I'll park the Porsche there. And then what I'll do is, as an added incentive to renting the Porsche, I'll put on there, the fact that you have a free parking space in the city, because I'll include the parking pass with the Turo rental. So, if they're going to be here in the city and want to do some shopping, whatever, they can just park there for free and go do whatever it is they need to do, and then also give them the ability to drop the car off there as well, which will make it super easy for me. And then when they drop off the car, clean it up and get it ready for next ride. That's kind of what, if all that goes well and I get like two books fairly quickly, then at that point I will go and call a Hertz and be put on a wait list for a Model Y. If you did not know, the Tesla Hertz, Tesla Uber rental program through Hertz, you can actually get Model Ys, but they're in limited supply. I'm not sure if they're everywhere, but they seem to be everywhere at the Hertz's near where I'm at. There's like 4 or 5 locations. All of them have a wait list. So what I'll do is I'll call like 2 or 3 of them, ask to be put on a wait list, and then just wait for that to come through. And then when that if this renting on this on Turo goes well, then I will go and get the Model Y and do Uber on that. And the reason why I want the Model Y is that I have access to XL. Um, Even though Uber knows that the Hertz Model Ys, none of them have a third row for 7 seats. They'll still allow it to select XL rides. Um, so what I'll just do is, I'll sit on just XL during heavy demand, kind of like what I did with when I had my Audi, and then the only difference is if I do get a ride request, I'll just message the passenger and be like, hey, how many people do you have? If they say 5 or 6, like just cancel. But if they say, 4 or less, then, go and pick them up and do the XL ride. Um, so that's only if I'm getting consistent rentals on this Porsche. Because for me, it really doesn't make sense for me to do Uber X in this. And then, the long term for me at that point would be to, get my own Tesla Model Y, and then just use that for Uber and Lyft. And the reason why uh, the biggest thing for me for a Tesla is that my parking garage, which is on the second floor of the building I'm in, my parking garage has EV charging spots that are for free. They're slow, but I can go from 10% to 80% in like 12 hours. So if so, what I do is I'll it'll sit overnight for like a good 6 to 8 hours, and then throughout the day I'll bring it back to I'll bring it back to the garage and let it charge. And basically, when I was doing that with the Tesla I rented for a week, um, I never actually had to take it to a supercharger. The only time I actually took it to a supercharger was one time. Was I went directly off the Hertz lot. Really kind of silly that Hertz is not going to give me a Tesla, that's fully charged. The one I had came with 10% battery, so I immediately had to go to a supercharger. Luckily it was in the O'Hare area, so I went to that supercharger. I sat there for a good 40 minutes, which is, would have been a lot faster, but I had someone next to me. And when someone's next to you, it splits the charge in half. Normally, a supercharger only takes like 20 minutes. Anyway, so I sat there, and I got the charge, and then from that point on, I never had to take it to another supercharger because the time that it sat in my garage was more than enough time for it to keep a battery up. So that right there is going to be my biggest expense. Um, so that's my current plan. Um, Anyways, I don't want to drag on to that too much because the point of this video was for Para. So I hope you kind of got an idea of how the Para app works and how powerful it is. And you'll be surprised of some rides that you get that will pay higher than you're normally used to. Like let's say you're normally used to, only making, you know, 20 to 30 an hour. Well, if you're like in a condensed area like LA or Chicago or South Florida and you have this on, I wouldn't be surprised if you can get away with putting on those perimeters and doubling what you would make. You're gonna it'll decline, a good handful of rides, but you know, it will it'll make it a lot easier to find the juicy rides that you want to do that are worth it. So yeah, that's it about the pair up. If you have any questions, just feel free to leave a comment below, and I'll get to it when I can. Thank you.